Hey everybody, it's your good buddy 650 Eve here, and we are at EBR Motorcycles for the unveiling of the 2016 1190 RX. Hey everybody, your good buddy 650 Eve here. It is about 5 a.m. and I'm starting my trek to East Troy, Wisconsin for the EBR Racing debut of the 1190 RX and 1190 RS at their headquarters today for the press day release. So it's going to be a 7-hour journey, but I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see what this bike is going to do, how it's going to look, and more importantly, how it's going to perform. 700 feet, turn right. Okay, our destination is going to be really close here, and I'm about to pass it. Turn right. Here we are. So,
reach your destination in 100 feet.
Says I've
reached your destination.
Reached my destination.
Your destination is on the right.
It's on the right. They have an awesome tractor trailer there. Very modern, very stylish, very expensive looking. Okay, so now that we've checked that out, we're going to go back up in the front and check in like a good boy. So here we are at Erik Buell Racing, and they're about to take us back to the assembly area. And this is where folks sit and work, and they get to marvel at these beautiful motorcycles throughout their workday. That must be really nice. And as I came in, I saw the 1190. Oh boy, look at this one. I mean, just look at these things. It's just hanging out, sitting there for you to look at and gawk at all day. How do people get work done when they got to look at these bikes all day? It's beyond me. It's a very nice office building. It's huge and massive. And they've got some different types of bikes there as well. But these are the two beauties that caught my eye when I came in. This yellow one here is really a looker. I like the levers on it too, real nice. And we've got a red one. Very nice. So we're gonna head back. I think I lost the guy that was taking me to the back there. I gotta find him. And they have an area set up for us for the day.
To make sure the most important engineering tool in the building was ready, the coffee pot.
Of course. Nice. So we have a bunch of machinery, I see.
Yep. We don't do any production machining here, but we do all of our prototype and race machining.
Nice. This building is huge. You all have the entire building?
We do.
Nice.
But it encompasses both R&D as well as the production area and all of our warehouse space. So it's we're actually a little packed in here right now.
Wow.
So we had some warehouse space down the road that we just consolidated out of as we reorganized.
So you all build a bike from scratch to finish in this building?
Yep. It starts on this side.
Wow.
Oh yeah. So this is the powertrain line.
Okay.
So it starts off at the beginning of the line there. The cases come together and the engines. You can see we've got them bagged right now just so debris doesn't get them.
Yes, sir.
The engines come down the line. They end up on these stands here. And then from here, it migrates over to the chassis line.
Okay.
And when we're at full production, each one of these will have a bike at different stages of production.
Yes, sir.
So,
oh wow.
Yep, it starts its life on an engine stand. And drop the harness on, swing arm, and as it moves down the line, you can see it becomes more of a motorcycle. And then towards the end, once the wheels are on, we'll pick it up, take the engine stand out from underneath it, and then it'll finish the rest of the assembly process on its wheels, roll off the cart at the end of the line, and up onto the rolls tester.
Totally cool. Wow, I see more and more of it is coming together here.
Yep. Looks more like a motorcycle the further you get.
Look at this beauty here. This is an awesome paint scheme. Is this one of the new models?
This is one of the 2016
Wow.
limited edition.
Wow, you're seeing it here first, guys. This bike is absolutely gorgeous. The paint scheme on this motorcycle is fantastic, and I love the heritage to the U.S. here with the stars and stripes. Look at that. That is really beautiful.
Painting was done locally here by a guy just up the road in Wisconsin.
Wow. And how many of these will be available?
There will be a total of 5.
5?
5.
Wow. How does one get one of these? Is it a special order or?
There will be their first come first serve. Need to see our top EBR dealers. We'll be able to order them first.
Wow. I'm really impressed by this one here, my friend. And this is a V-twin motor,
Correct.
1190 cc's, basically?
1190 V-twin.
Okay. Well, look at that sucker over there.
Also on the 2016 new colors.
Absolutely, you guys, man. This is beautiful. This is absolutely stunning. It's a very unique scheme that I have not seen on a motorcycle as of yet.
The throughway battery fender on the bike goes on the wall.
I'd like to introduce you to Erik Buell.
You guys know Steve? Steve Smith, head of operations here. Well, this is pretty informal. It's really cool to be back. As most of you know, I've been doing this since 1983. Got started down the insane road of making a great American sport bike. And I guess since 1983, been a lot of things thrown at us, but we've never quit. I'm still a huge believer in being, and I'm fiercely competitive about being independent, and I'm just a tremendous believer in that American engineering brings something unique to the sport bike world. We all know that American engineering has done a great job with, the classics and bringing back the classics, the motorcycles we know about. But that thing that was elusive for me is the really high-tech, modern, cutting-edge stuff for a different customer. And I've always believed that, we could bring something special by having an American company in that business. And that's, sold over around 140,000 bikes, probably a little less than that, since those beginnings. And in addition, sold tens of millions of dollars worth of consulting engineering work overseas. So most of our sales is also, so we brought money from the outside the country into the country. And certainly a lot of money from outside Wisconsin into Wisconsin if you want to get more and more regional about it. But, that tells something. That really says something. So I'm really excited about the situation we're in right now. We've run through some rough times, but we're in a great position now. We have obviously a really cool facility that's set up to go, that we're able to work in. We've got access to a tremendous pool of talent. We have our own engine, which for a long, long time we didn't have. We have a complete chassis ready to go. It's all tooled. So the core product is tooled for mass production. And so we have the fundamentals of a platform that we can take forever. The focus right now is on the core of the platform, and the 1190 is kind of the essence of what a sport motorcycle should be in my mind. It's pure, it has the best handling chassis in the industry, has an engine with huge amounts of power. Maybe it doesn't have 200 horsepower, but it has 185. And when you start getting in that range, it doesn't matter too much. You've got to have a lot of horsepower. So it's very high tech, incredible state-of-the-art handling, and a lot of that brought by this American innovation, which we've been able to bring up to speed.
What was the horsepower, Erik, that you mentioned?
I think 185 crank.
185.
Is about what we are. No, we have a bike that's completely competitive with the best imported brands, which is you know, a really exciting thing to have. And the other really incredible thing, so we can do more derivatives, but the essence is there. It's one of somebody just mentioned, one of the Bills has said before, is, you know, once you have a really cool, unique design, it can be last forever, like the 911 Porsche or something. You do something that's unique and different, but really works, and there's lots of future in it, again, since we own it all. But the other really cool thing that's what we're in the situation with now is, you know, we had these great products and great engineering, but what we have now is we're tied in with some great American businessmen who happen to love the industry, but more than that, they're business people. And so now they said, you know, you have great products, because we got great new stuff coming too and concepts. Now let's make it into a great business. And that's where we are today. And so I'm going to introduce Bill Velvet.
Thanks, Eric. That's a tough act to follow. Following Erik Buell. I mean, I guess on the racetrack, a lot of people did that as well. So, I want to thank all of you for coming, first of all. It's my honor to be here with all of you. We think this is a great day. You know, today's the day where the American sport bike is rolling off the production line. We have an American special edition, limited edition, patriotic bike that we have. And I think it really tells the story about the American engineering that Erik Buell has worked on his whole life. It's a great product, it's a great company, and really the credit goes to the team. The people that are here in this factory and that have worked here for so many years are truly amazing. And it really says a lot about Erik, says a lot about the management, it says a lot about the culture. I mean, this team is so fun to work with. They're so hardworking, they're so enthusiastic. They love the product, they believe in it, and they believe in American engineering and American motorcycles. And this is the American sport bike. So we're excited to be here with the team, feel honored to be a part of the team, and we're really looking forward to the things to come. So.
Passed him on the straightaway, and going into the corner, he outbrake him every time. And what you could see from the camera is how much the wheel was moving, you know, following the ground. And that's the whole deal with a light wheel is if you hit a bump, the wheel goes up. A heavier wheel takes longer to get back down on the ground. So the heavier front wheel, it'll start going into skipping sooner. You know what I mean? It'll get too light and start sliding. Mm-hmm. And you don't notice that on a track like Valencia, which is like polished marble, you know, a GP track. But on real roads like the Isle of Man and tracks in Asia and stuff that are bumpier,
Wisconsin,
they're really dumb. Or real roads in Wisconsin, tracks in Wisconsin. You know, that's where this bike, you know, goes so well. So, you know, a lot of the companies, even at the lower level of Superbike, are putting on aftermarket Brembos and stuff like this. We ran all the way up to the World Superbike level with stock brakes, and so they really work. But where they work the best is real world riding of a fast bike, where the roads are rough and bumpy. And it also adds to, I mean, the whole stability, the stickiness of the front end. There's just a lot of things in the chassis
that's whole part of
that just work.
That's part of racing too. If you don't have good brakes, you're not going to be competitive in racing.
Right, and you know, we had to have it up to that level, but we were able to get there without having, you know, and still keep it lightweight, which is, and you know, interestingly enough, even at the World Superbike level, we had the option to run the €10,000 Brembo system. And Larry, when he was riding, was a second a lap faster with his system, just because he had gotten used to how deep he could go in the corner with it. Because
Before
the front, you know, on Superbike, you get a lot of times with the front end chatter. It's a big thing that everybody complains about. That's basically because you're doing all your suspension with the tire, because the suspension itself is overwhelmed by the weight of the wheel. They have to make it stiff enough that it doesn't come off the ground. These bikes just don't have front end chatter. It doesn't even exist in it, but that's really why, because the wheel's so light.
Mm-hmm. I talked to a lot of racers, and they said the brakes were superb on this, and they like you said, they can go deeper into the turn before they have to worry about it.
And we had to evolve it on our own. You know, it took years to get them. You know, fundamentally it worked, but to get it to work at the racing level. So it was always a great front wheel system for on the bumps. But you know, as we got more power, we had to evolve it and change materials and go from the 6 piston to the 8 piston. But you know, now we have it at the level where it works even at Superbike racing level.
Same chassis, same wheelbase.
Yep.
All they just changed was the level of the rear pegs or something.
Yeah, they changed pegs to be further back, and Sometimes they jack this is depending on the track, lengthen or shorten the shock, that kind of stuff.
Hey Eric, you mentioned the bike has a visceral feel when you're riding it from the suspension. How does the bike achieve that?
One of the things that we tried to work into the chassis was trying to make it feel like one with the rider, and that's what I want to be able to do. It's like you can feel a pavement through your hands, and if the chassis starts flexing and things like that, now all of a sudden you're feeling the chassis, not the wheels. If the tire and suspension are getting out of control, you're really not feeling the road. This bike, that's what we were focused on, So the chassis, the way we do the chassis, the fuel in the frame chassis, it has slim but tall beams, but they also have a liner in the chassis, which is a fuel resistant. But one of the things that does is it dampens the resonances that would be in a typical, steel or aluminum frame, the bounciness of it. So literally having fuel and having that coating of plastic inside it dampens it. So that again keeps you from being disconnected from the ground.
Absolutely, and that's not what you want at the track for sure.
Right. I mean, that's the fun part. When you were racing and you're doing really well, you ever have that feeling you're on the track and things are working and you're leaned over and it's like the heat off the asphalt's on you. When your knees out on the ground and stuff, and you just want to touch the ground. And you're like one with
I have touched the ground.
So sometimes
My head and
Oh wow!
Put your ground with the appropriate body part is the trick.
Right.
it's overrated, I thought. No, I know what you mean. It's right there.
yeah.
So Eric, I have a few bikes. I have a Ducati Panigale R, BMW HP4, Kawasaki Ninja H2, an Aprilia RSV4 RF, and a Yamaha R1M. And I'm pretty excited about the possibility of test riding your RX and seeing how it stacks up to those bikes.
Yeah,
I think it'd be very interesting
Yeah,
to
I
see.
think you'll be very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. So stay tuned for that. We might get an opportunity to do that. So we're wrapping up our stay here at EBR Motorcycles for the press launch of the 2016 motorcycles, the 1190 RX, the 1190 RS, and their street fighting motorcycles, the SX as well, which competes with the KTM Super Duke. Yeah. And we're going to leave the facility now and head back home. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe at the very bottom right hand side. And as always, stay tuned and thanks for viewing.